Alright, today I am going to do a Dean Cornwell. Big surprise there. I absolutely love Cornwell and I love his work, and there's just a beauty in the design that he has. So let me just see if I can get this drawn out really quickly. There's just a beauty in this design that I've just, again, this is, it's funny because it's like I wanted the opportunity to study a lot of these works, and now this has just afforded me the ability to really study them. So this painting is just, in my opinion, masterfully composed. I'm going to just crop it at the bottom out there. Seems almost like a square. And as I refine the shapes, I may move things. But alright, let's jump in. Alright, so it looks almost like he's got a little mineral spirits on the brush. Like there's a little bit of, I don't even know, like a purple tinge to it all. I wonder what the color is that he would have used. Let's just go through and design. Look at the design of the shadow as I kind of begin to fill it. There's definitely some warm light, cool shadow going on in there. Yeah, beauty. Again, I go abstract and try to not think. I'm studying the picture. Doesn't mean you have to. You can study whatever you want in all artwork. Come into it, into your paintings with, or these studies with an idea of what it is you're trying to get out of them. I think kind of focus on them. Focus on that task. And you can even just build it tonally. Maybe even want to just do value paintings. Like just focus on that. Alright, before I get too far here, let's just get the design. There's definitely like a blue to his work. I'm not going to worry so much about having to make things look exactly like I see them, but I am going to try to some degree to get the relationships. Again, this is the picture that I'm after. So I'm going to just get a touch of mineral spirits, loosen that up just a touch. What that's going to allow is just this. Look at the design of the color that he's using. Right. I'm going to just mass it. What I love about this technique is very much like what I do with an emboss when I'm doing a painting. And what that does is really just sets up the relationship so you can kind of see things a little bit more accurately. Paintings are about getting an accuracy of relationships. It's not about color swatching and stuff like that. Alright, now I'm going to go for the blue. Let's get a little, lower that chroma of the blue. I'm going to go black to get darker with it. Let's just get this little mark there. I would imagine he probably was using, sometimes you see the mineral blue as the color that's listed on palettes, but I would imagine that's what they're using. Mineral blue is Prussian blue. Let's get big fatness of paint there. If you feel like, again, you know, for like, what is the intention behind it? What is your intention? What are you trying to study? If it's, I don't put a lot of paint down, a perfect opportunity to see about adding a lot more paint. So grab a big, cake it on, you know? Like if you feel like, oh man, I never put enough paint on. Well, you want to find out what it's like to put a lot of paint on. Maybe that's what your desire is. Very low stakes place to do it, just to really think about, you know, being bold. I'm never bold. I want to be bold. All right, well, let's be bold. Perfect, perfect opportunity to do it. Very low stakes opportunity to do it. Again, this is the kind of essence of the painting here. I'm going to pop into my manganese violet. I wonder, I don't think he had that on the palette, but I'm going to use it just because I love that color, and that's what's on the palette, so why not see if that's going to be what that is right there. Maybe he did have it on the palette. I'm not quite sure. I have to go kind of, I don't really have notes on him painting. There's a video on YouTube, I think James Gurney posted it, of Dean Cornwell painting. Google it if you haven't seen it. But there's just a beautiful green kind of purple going on there. I would imagine maybe the color that he's using could be a little bit more of like alizarin to mix his own purple. It does look like there's like an alizarin up in here. That's like a note of a color right there. All right, let's go back. Like there seems like a designing of the shapes and the shadows. I stood before a Cornwell and did a copy in person at the Society of Illustrators back in the day. I think they gave me like 2 or 3 sessions with it. Not a lot of time, but you make the most with that time if you can. But to sit and stand before it and really look at it is different, I think, than working from a monitor. Monitor is a little easier. Of course, we don't always have the ability to kind of go visit something, especially if it's in another country. But if you can, I would say stand before it. The colors will probably look quite different in person. All right, looks like my composition is kind of off a little bit here. But look at the red right up through there. The way he's just popping it on there, zinging that color. Now let's take this and make a low chroma color as the hand. All right, and then over here, another hand. And then up here, let's get the face. And then he's really playing up the blue of the hair. Not blue in the hair, or coolness in the hair. Her hair is not blue. Again, not the best job with spacing. Could have done a little better, but oh well. Don't beat yourself up. Still something that can be extracted. Part of it is just to get in the studio and do something. Right? That's kind of the essence of it. See if I get a little more manganese violet on the palette. There we go. I'm going to pull it in through there. There's definitely a lot going on in his work. And I just add a touch of don't, I can only imagine he's definitely designing all of the colors and the snow, to bring the eye where he wants the eye to go. Like that. Maybe letting the ground pull through a little bit more. All right. Oh, he's hitting it up with some blue. Just beautiful, like almost sneaky color. Playfulness. I feel like I'm just ran out of room. But the design, I mean, look at that design. Blue. That's cobalt. Wonder if it's, I'd love to see it in person. Society of Illustrators has a great collection of Cornwells. Graffitas in snow, or are in snow. That's what he's doing there. Cake it on for a poster like this. Alright. There we go. Really cake it on. Cake it on there too. Maybe you want to bring a little blue in there. Warm light, cool shadow. I would imagine he's probably playing that up. A lot of artists do that. I bet you it is mineral blue. Yep. There's mineral blue with Prussian. Yeah, there it is. There we go. So he used to call it whipping the white. He would take his white and then beat it for like 20 minutes with some oil to make it into this dense, different consistency. I wonder if that's even it. Maybe it's just the commingling of the violet in there. Just makes it lean a little bit on the cool side. There's a ton going on too to average this. Is ideal. Like there's just a ton. It almost looks like cobalt teal happening in there too. Beautiful greens. There it is. I've been adding Prussian blue to my palette recently. Really love it. reason why the snow is all there. Add more. Paint. Cake it on. Why not? Like you can only get those marks when it's wet into wet. That's where you begin to kind of see that a lot of these artists very, very bold in the way that they were working. When you try to recreate it in a very slow way, you can't get the essence of it. A lot of it is just, look at that, even just the design of that brick right there. Look at the design that he's doing. The way he's making this darker. Maybe I'm making it a little bit too dark. But still. Just value-wise, what that does to the composition. If you want a nice mixed black or number, a little bit of cobalt is a good one. Right, so as not to get too much into the details of everything, I'm just going to leave most of the head like that. Not going to put in eyeballs and such. That's just the face. I'm going to leave it like that. All right, let's round the corner here. And if it feels like it's not enough information, leave it. Especially if you're trying to grow. Like what makes the essence of a picture. This, something simple like this is enough to say this is the essence of a picture. And again, my point in doing these, one of the many reasons, of course, it's just that you can study something in a short amount of time, and make it a daily habit. Even not even just a daily habit, just a habit of doing these often, and it will allow you to just study the paintings that you love, and then be honest with put them out, study them. Why that's the catalog of work that if I could own, maybe there's something in it to then dissect and kind of head towards. Maybe it's, I don't know, sometimes it's just self-reflection is a big part of this, and think about. I always like it because stuff like this offers me the opportunity to play and try, and I'm sure that there's a mark in a Cornwell that I'm going to sneak into a painting. Look at that. All this red over here relates to that. And you're reconstructing it, briefly with the idea that I'm going to try to get it with the essence of what he's doing. But it's also low stakes. So, this is like 20 minutes in now, and it's really just enough for me to be like, yeah, that's good. It's kind of the painting. What does it mean to paint with a gnarly brush? I get asked all the time about brush care. I'm like the worst at it, but I don't particularly care about brushes. Brushes are just a mark, and even if you beat them up, they end up being a new mark that maybe you can't get with some other brush that's brand new. I don't know. Learning to let go a little bit. I think that's also something I continue to kind of consider as well. Maybe that's too blue now. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe you've created something different and it inspired your own epiphany. Maybe you're playing with mixing. Maybe you want to play with complementary mixing. I don't particularly do it all that much, but I do like to do it. Very artful way to paint. I think it's tough to control, but that doesn't mean don't do it. I think you should all try it and come to your conclusion of what you all think about it, just like everything. All right, let me get the gun in there and I think call it a day, and that's the kind of painting in a nutshell. All right, and then the blue, just missing that blue in the back. Blue there. What's the cobalt? I don't remember. Maybe it did have both. I don't know. But just a mark right there. Blue. Alright, let me just state a couple more small things. And then we're good.